All right, so most people know that a man tried to compete as a woman to win the world's strongest woman title and almost got away with it. But then it came to light that this person was, in fact, a man and not even a complete trans in their bisexual behavior online. So, not a good look for this person, but I feel like it's a great look for how the sport of strongman has handled it. Not so much the people that don't know much about strongman. Some of what they're doing and what they're saying just doesn't make sense and is not even accurate. So, for starters, there's a video on the podium where you see this guy holding his first place trophy, and you see at the time the second place finisher, Andrea Thompson, who is really good, strong woman from Britain, and she looks really upset. You can hear her mouthing some potty mouth words because she was actually looking at, and actually, if you go on, uh, what's it called, Big Law's official on YouTube, she's actually talking to them, and they're filming. They've been having a conversation before the podium. She wasn't happy with how her stone lift went, which ironically would have actually made her the winner straight up, even beating this guy who was way taller and way heavier than she is. So that would have been a funny little, side note to the whole thing had she outright won it. She knew it was her mistake on the stones that really cost her, not the fact that this gigantic man was actually beating her, because he really didn't. It was more of her mistake than his success. So that part's inaccurate, but it doesn't change the fact that this guy is a total fraud and lied and deceived everybody. And part of the problem with it isn't just the fact that it took away the title and that moment from Andrea Thompson. What people who don't follow strongman probably don't understand is, I guess other sports do this a little bit, but strongman in particular, these are multi-day events, and when you get down to the final, it's the top 10. They compete, and then there's where you get your 1, 2, and 3 from. So by this guy being in the top 10, that means that the 11th place finisher, she should have been in the top 10. She didn't get a chance to improve her position. Yeah, retroactively they went back, they disqualify him, which moves everyone up a spot. So the 11th place finisher then gets put into 10th place, but they never had a chance to actually compete because of this guy to maybe improve their position from 10th up to, whatever. Because not everybody goes into the finals in first place and then ends up winning it. That's just not how a lot of these multi day competitions work. So, this type of deception, cheating, it doesn't just affect who finished second or third, it affects the whole top 10, it affects the whole competition for that last day. So it wasn't just like one or two people got done dirty. 10 other people get done dirty by one person deciding to cheat and be a fraud. So, and congratulations on Canada for going back and taking away his title that he won as a strong woman. And that just happened a couple of days ago. So, a lot of stuff's keep coming out after, a lot of people have made videos, and I just, shoot, mine might be too soon. Who knows? But a couple other little side notes, not to mention what, strongman's stance is that they reiterated. Had they known, had anybody known, had it been reported, they wouldn't have let this guy do it. And because it's in their rules, the way you're born is the way you compete. And also, ironically, not as many people mention this either, but in the state of Texas, it's actually illegal to compete as a man in a woman's sport. So, what that looks like, I don't get into the laws and the details of it, who would be responsible, who's going to face fines and all that. I don't know if it's the organization, the individual, or both, but that's just another side note that also not a lot of people have mentioned. But, it's a sport that I'm into and I do and all that. And I guess a lot of people that aren't into it and don't know much about it all of a sudden want to jump on the bandwagon because of this guy posing as a woman, and that's fine. But at least do your homework and know how the sport works, before you come in here and start talking about it. So that's it. Go out and have a good day if you want to.